This is Amud Yomi, Gemara in Berachos, Daf Lamed Ches Amud Beis. We're holding on Lamed Ches Amud Aleph, in the middle of the discussion, whether one should say Ha Moitzi or Moitzi. And the Gemara fascinatingly just finished discussing how everyone would agree that Moitzi would be in the future. And the question is, what about Ha Moitzi? So the Gemara picks up 5 lines from the bottom. First word online is Yaschain. Says the Gemara, Mishtabachin lei Rabbanon Rav Zira is bar Rav Zvid Achud or Shimon bar Rav Zvid. The Rabbanon praised Rav Zira, who is known as the son of Rav Zvid, the brother of the Rav Shimon Rav Zvid. Why do they praise him? The Adam Gadol ube Berachos. That was the praise. He was an Adam Gadol in Berachos. Amr Lahem, Rav Zira said, when he comes to you, heavy the Adi, bring him to me. I want to ask him a question. This great Gadol in Berachos. One time, he visited Rav Zira, Fukle Rifta. They brought out bread to him. Pasach v'amar moitzi. Amar Rav Zira said, Zehu Shaiman, this is whom you're saying, Olav. Tadam Gadalu, Baki v'brachos. Someone who said, Moitzi. Says the Gemara, Bishlam, I would understand the Amar, Ha Moitzi, as we turn over to Lamed Ches Amud Beis. Then, Ashmin, in time of Ashmin, Rabbanan, he would have taught us the meaning of the pasuk. He would have said, we pasuk like the Rabbanan. That's why he said, Ha Moitzi. Elo to Amar Moitzi. My Kamashlan, what's the big deal? Says the Gemara, but David, you know why Rav Zvid did indeed say Moitzi Mishom Nafukin Nafshe Miplukta. He didn't want to get involved in a machlokes, but continues the Gemara and concludes the Gemara that even though indeed Rav Zvid said Moitzi, but V'ilchasa Ha Moitzi Lechem Min Haaretz the Kaimlin Karabanan. The Amri Dabig Mashma who say that Ha Moitzi means in the past. We continue 5 lines down, Lamed Ches Amud Beis, quoting the Mishnah that Vyala Yerakos on vegetables. Aimer, what do we say? Boirei Pari Ha'adama. Says the Gemara from the Smichos, from the order of the Mishnah that it spoke about pas, bread, and then it segued immediately into Yerakos. Says the Gemara Katani Yerakos, Dumya de pas. That what? Ma pasha just like bread is transformed through fire. Af Yerakos nami shenishan so too vegetables change through fire, meaning cooked veggies. That's what the Mishnah means. Shalakos, as we'll see, cooked vegetables. That's what the Mishnah is referring to, not stam vegetables when it says hadama. Amar Avnoi b'shvei Abaye Zaysei Meres. This is from here we see what? Shalakos mevarchin aleihem b'rei b'ri hadama. Uncooked vegetables, we make a hadama. Continues the Gemara right after the parentheses, 8 lines down. First word of line is Yerakos. Darash Rav Chista Misham Rabbeinu Manu Rav, and this was who's his Rabbi Rav. Shalakos varchin alei b'ri hadama. Rabbi Seina, Yardim Eretz Yisrael, even though he said he make a Adama, but those who came from Eretz Yisrael, Uman, and who is that? Ulam Shed Rav Yechon Amar. Shalakos varchin alei shakol and yeh b'dvarei. But Vani Oimer, says Rav Chista, I say both of them are right. Shlakos, cooked vegetables, could be a shahakol and it could be a hadam. How could they both be right? If originally when you eat it raw, it's a hadama, then when you cook it, shalakai, then shakol niyavdvarim. But why? Because it's not normal to eat it raw. So you make a shakal if you do. Then shalakai, then when you cook it, what's the story? Pairei pri ha'adama. That is Rav Chista's pshara into these 2 shitas. And says the Gemara, Bishlam, I can understand kol shetchilasai. About 15 lines down, the first line is shetchilasai. Shakol niya bidvarai. Starts off as the shakol and shlaka ber pri ha'adama makes sense. Why? Meshkach hazah bekarba silka v'kara. Cabbage, beets, and pumpkins, which are normal to be eaten cooked. So if you eat it raw, it's abnormal, you make a shahakal. You eat it cooked, you make a dam. What is the case? That it starts off as a hadama, but when you cook it, you lose it. Garlic and leeks. which are dafka eaten raw. So if you go and you cook it, that's called rooting it, and then you would only make a shahakol. Says the Gemara, Darsh Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman Darshan that's followed Mishum Rabbeinu Manu Shmuel. So the previous Josh was B'Shem Rav, this is B'Shem Shmuel Shalakais. V'varchen Aleim B'Ari B'Yadamam. But v'chavreinu ha'yardim Eretz Yisrael, those who came down from Eretz Yisrael, and whom is that? The one who ulam sheider Rav Yechon Amar, Shlakais v'archen Aleim Sha'akol Niyeh B'Dvarei. V'ani Omer, very similar to the previous Lashon, B'machlekes Shnuya, they are both correct. Tanya yoitzin berkik asharui. On matzah, you're allowed to be yoitzin and din of achilas matzah with a wafer that is soaked in water. Ubimivushol, if it's cooked, shaloi nimuach, as long as the bread, the matzah didn't dissolve. Divi Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yosi Omer yoitzin berkik ashari kvi yoitzin was soaked. Avalo bimivushol. Avabi shaloi nimuach. So suggests the Gemara, according to Rabbi Yosi, you can be yoitzin with cooked matzah, because we're assuming cooking something destroys it, so too, you would make a shahakol. Whereas according to Rameir, you could, and therefore you'd still make a adama even on the cooked veggies. Says the Gemara, this is not accurate. V'lohi, first one on line is nimuach, about 15 lines in the wide lines. Says the Gemara, we just said is not true. The kuli amash shlokas varchan aleim b'ir b'yadam. Everyone agrees that on shlokas they cook vegetables according to this lashon. You make a dam of Akan Lakomer. Rav Yesi Asam, what was Rav Yesi referring to? El Mishon de Be'inan Tama Matzah Veleka. There's a localized issue. If you cook the matzah, it removes the taste. Aval with regard to the bracha and the cooked vegetables, Rav Yesi would admit, I feel Rav Yesi Maida, that you make a hadama. So says the Gemara, that's the machlokes, the story with shlakos. Amar Rav Chia Barabba, Amar Rav Yechon Shlakos, Verchlein Bar B'Yadama. Or Rav Yom Bar Yefes, Amar Rav Yechon Shlakos, Verchlein Shakol Ne'ebedvarei. So we have a machlokes, what did the Rebbe Rav Yechon hold? The conflicting opinions, whether Rav Yechon held it was a shahakol or adama. Amar Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, says Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, Kava Ula L'Shabeshta, Ki Rav Yom Bar Yefes. Ula made the same mistake like Rabbi Noam Bar Yefes, that what it's a shahakol. Basically, the Gemara pointing out that's not true. It's really a hadama. So Tahi ba Rav Zera. Rav Zera was pondering. We're trying to figure out. 8 lines in the wide lines. First word line is Rav Zera. We're trying to figure out what's going on over here. You're saying Rabbi Noam Bar Yefes is a mistake. He didn't have the right sheet of his Rabbi Yechanan. Is that really a shahakol? He said, I don't understand. Why do they even say over the din of Rabbi Noam Bar Yefes? Why not? Number one, Rav Chia Barabba Dayik v'Gomer Shemaitzim Rav Yechon Rabbi. Rav Chia Barabba would say over from memory the dinim of Rav Yechon. So he clearly knew what was going on. For Rabbi Noam Bar Yefes, lo Dayik, he wasn't as miduyak, he wasn't as precise in remembering the Torah of the Rebbe Rav Yechon. V'ayid, reason number 2, every 30 days, he would chazer what his Rebbe Rav Yechon held. He would not do chazara. Number 3, v'ayid bar minei din, aside from those 2 reasons. The reasons being that Rav Chia Barabba was more meduyak, did more chazara. But aside from that, we have multiple rayos that Rav Yechon held that shlakos is adama. Dahuter muta, there was a tarmus being that you had to the shakli shivas in bacteria to cook it 7 times in a bat. And it was then eaten as a dessert. And this item also v'shali Rav Yechon asked Rav Yechon. So another raya that a cooked item Rav Yechon held to the dama. V'oid, and a 4th raya Amar Rav Chia Barabba, and he eats Rav Yechon shachal zayis maliach, eat a kezayis of salted olives, salted having a similar din to cooking. Ubarach leit chil v'sayif. He made a bracha before and after. So yeah, Rabbi Shlomo Shlakos Mel Sayukai. If you tell me Shlakos are like they were originally, meaning they still have a din of vegetables to make adama. So it's Chivarach Lebar Adama, Chivarach Lebar Achaz me in Shalosh. And Aloit, Aliyamar Shlakos Mel Sayukai. If you tell me Shlakos are destroyed, therefore they're Shahakol. Bishlam it's Chivarach Le Shakol Niev Dvarah Yelu B'Saif. My Mevarich. What bracha do you make? Says the Gemara, this last kasha is not a kasha. Again, we have 3 other kashas. 2, proving that Rav Chia bar Abba is more meduyak, there's more chazara. Number 3, proving that Rav Yochanan indeed held like the tour must be in the Yemeka Adama. Says one, this 4th raya, Doma Berman Noach Chasana Koma Shabaros, we don't have a raya. Finally, he says the Gemara must have Yitzhak Shmuel. Yira Kais Shadam Yitzidei Chavasim Pesach. For Mara and Pesach, Motzivdem Vikelach Shem Yotzei. With them or in their stocks, Avaloi Kvushin Lo Shtukim Mishalim, not cooked, not pickled, not stewed. So proves the Gemara of Yisrael Gedaitim Mosai Ukai. If you're going to tell me that a cooked veggie is still a Adama, Shluki Amai Loi, why would you not be Yotzei your Marar with cooked veggies? And concludes the Gemara for today. Shani Yasadin Tamar Velaka. True. Maybe cooked veggies are or are not Hadama. We do not know. Maybe they do retain their status of Hadama. So why can't it be Yotze on Pesach for a different reason? Is what? There's no tam, marar, it's not bitter once you cook it. And that's the reason we can't ask a kasha. We'll stop over here. We'll continue tomorrow with the discussion of what is the bracha on the shlakos.